Hey everyone, this is Michael with Backyard Orchard Dreams. That was Sahara as a pup, getting a little bit of introduction to the neighborhood cats and a little bit of behavioral training in the process. Today we're going to spotlight and highlight 2023. We have over 90 plus trees in the orchard now. We're going to go back from January to December, showcase some of the highlights of the year. But before we do, we'd love it if you can take a moment to like and subscribe. Greatly appreciate the support for the channel. Thank you for that. And with no further ado, let's jump into the video right now. 2023 was such an incredible year. We had so much that we were able to harvest out of the orchard. And yes, nature did get its fair share as well, but that's okay. We had enough. We'll cover that. We'll cover all the things we pulled out of the orchard. So many amazing things that happened. We'll spotlight. We'll have more from Sahara. She'll pop in and out throughout the video. And listen, this piece right here we'll cover at the very end. This was a very emotional moment when I felt like I destroyed one of my best producing trees. So if you stick around to the end, I'm going to spend a little bit of time covering that, the nectarine tree. So here's the blackberries. What an incredible specimen. This is a tree that, a plant, a vine actually, that we figured out a way to actually use the maple trees behind it as a trellis. And look how this vine is going up like a tree. And then look at the spectacular colors of this blackberry vine. This was just an incredible success, super excited about. And this is a tree that's been producing all year round. Look at that. Amazing. Certainly one of the highlights of 2023. We had a lot of great success with our plants in pots, especially the berries. Right here, what you see are the blueberries. I have about 6 or 7 or 8, I forget how many, but quite a few blueberries that are in pots. And they do really well. So certainly, consider putting blueberries in pots. Pretty easy to grow, and look at all the blueberries you get. Then what we'll see next are actually a pink version of blueberries. These are called pink lemonade. And again, it's a pink version of a blueberry. And it tastes the same, but really unique to get these really interesting colors from blueberries. I made a lot of trips this year to the nursery. And this one right here is one of my favorites. It's Louie's Nursery in Riverside. They have an incredible selection of fruit trees. What you see right here is their selection of berries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, and such. And right about now, in the early part of the year, is when they have their best selection of berries. And I picked up a few on this occasion. And in the next scene, I'll share a little bit about what I did with some berries that I picked up from Louie's Nursery. Now check this out. I bought 4 different types of berries. I bought 2 blackberries, a raspberry, and a boysenberry. And I arranged these pots where I wanted to put the berries. And what I want to share with you is that, again, berries are super easy to grow. You can put them in containers. And one of the benefits of putting them in containers is that you can move them around. You can protect them from the wind. You can protect them from the sun. And they do very well, as we'll see coming up right now. Now, didn't I tell you they're fantastic to be able to grow in pots? This is in a couple of months, in a few short months, we're able to get this kind of growth from berries. And then not only do you get the growth, but you're actually able to get fruit, actual berries growing in pots, growing on your premise in a very short amount of time. It's one of the reasons why I love growing berries in pots. Again, a great highlight of 2023. Loquats people, don't forget about your loquats. These are loquat flowers. They're beautiful. They have such an amazing sweet aroma. The bees are super attracted to it. They love it. And what comes behind it is an incredible spring fruit. All right, here's a picture of the loquats. Harvest out of the orchard today. Look at that. Beautiful. 2 different varieties, Champagne and Oliver. Towards the end of May 2023, and just an incredible bounty, incredible harvest of beautiful loquats. Now here's something I will not miss about 2023, and that is digging all of these holes. Now that I've got most of my fruit trees in, I don't have to spend time and dig these deep tree wells, these wells where I plant these trees. I get a lot of questions about it. You got to check out the videos. I've done videos on them. The short story is that I plant a lot of my trees on hillsides, and because they're on a hillside, I need to be able to have it so that the water is able to get in and it's able to hold mulch and everything else. But I won't miss this one bit. And here's Sahara, the guardian of the orchard, and she's not afraid to get her paws dirty. Check her out. She'll get in there and she'll get in and start digging. Not sure what she smells when she's digging, but she must come across some mushrooms or something because her zoomies kick in. But, all in all, we really, enjoy having Sahara around, and she likes to chip in and do her part wherever she can. All right, so around June of 2023, I did this video on a plum, a nectarine, an apricot, and a peach. The catch is that all of these fruits were on a single tree. Yes, a 4-in-1 tree that has apricots, as you see there, peaches, as you'll see shortly, nectarines on the left, and then plums that are on a single tree. Such a great tree to have in the orchard, and just a spectacular combination. So interesting because they take a rootstock and then they take 4 different varieties and actually graft it onto a single tree. That's how they get the 4-in-1 fruit tree, fruit salad tree. And what's nice about this tree as well is it will harvest at different times. So my apricots and my plums, my apricots and my plums come first, and then my peaches and nectarines come after that. So again, just a great thing to have in your orchard. Hope you guys out there can pick this up. This is incredible. The amount of flowers on this tangelo tree is nothing like I've ever seen before. Remarkable. Let me see if I can back up a little bit and give you a full sense. Kind of pan from side to side. Let's get up close. Look at that. There's still a couple tangelos of the tree that need to come off. And we'll get them off. But this is just spectacular. The amount of flowers in every single direction, on every side of the tree. Amazing. All right, fruit is on the way. That was cool, wasn't it? Seeing all those flowers and just seeing the beauty of them. And then look at the results. Look at that. Tree is loaded. Tons of fruit. Certainly what you want. And yeah, that's nice having that kind of production in your orchard. I have a pretty decent variety of citrus in my orchard, from everything from oranges to lemons, but 2 of my favorites are certainly the Tangelo and the Oro Blanco grapefruit. If you haven't had an Oro Blanco, you gotta get it. It's super sweet. You don't need any sugar or anything else. And man, I love those two fruits. Yeah, there was a lot of animal mayhem on the property. Look at this guy. These are some alligator lizards. And the guy has the other guy in a death grip, some sort of, I don't know, some sort of jujitsu headlock. And he's choking him out. I don't know if it was a rival or what the situation was. I don't know what their beef was, but he's going to take him off to the back and handle him. So pretty interesting stuff. We've had other things in the orchard like rats that you'll see here. They're popping their heads up and, moving around at night. And then we had raccoons. These knuckleheads, they got into the Girl Scout cookies and they went to town on the Girl Scout cookies. So we've had that. We've even had, things like snakes that you'll see coming up in a second. And one day I'll have to do a story just on the snake adventures here in the orchard. Insects got into the action as well. One of my favorite, this is my all-time favorite insect, the praying mantis. So, we had those around doing their hunting. Dragonflies, beautiful dragonflies of all sorts of colors, blue and orange and yellow and red. And then we have some of the pests. These are ants that are farming aphids. So one of the things that ants do is they protect aphids. They treat them like cattle. And the aphids eat off the plant. They produce some sort of milky substance, and the ants then feed off of that like cows. Pretty interesting stuff. And then, of course, I showed earlier the June bugs. And, I don't know what they're doing, but they, got to the leftover blackberries and they got to the leftover nectarines. And they had a pretty good time. So as we leave the insects, we're going to talk a little bit about something else I did quite a bit in 2023. That is actually buy plants online. I bought from two places, Planogram and Everglade Farms. Had good success with both. As you see here, they come in pretty good condition. These were a couple mangoes that I bought online. And they, they stack them up and protect them pretty well. They're coming all the way from Florida. They come in good shape. They pass the inspection from Sahara, which is always a plus. And it was something that worked out really well. Passion fruit. Check out my videos that I posted on my passion fruit. I really just talk about all the great benefits, but look at the harvest. This is a small sample of the harvest that we pulled off the passion fruit vine in 2023. We had a fair amount of weather events last year, and this one you see here is actually early in the year where we had hail come down onto the property, rain down and hail down in the orchard. And then we had Hillary later in the year. And Hillary was a pretty big event. Fortunately, it didn't get too bad where I was. Just a lot of rain. We got a bunch of rain. I want to say about 5 or 6 inches over a couple of days, which is a lot for us here in Southern California. Now, all the rain did lead to a lot of weeds. And I had this outburst of weeds on my property. I had let my landscaper go because I found myself kind of reusing everything in the orchard. And there was very little that he was actually taking out to the green bin. And so when the weeds came, I figured out a solution that I would actually take these weeds, and you see my machete right there. They just pull them up out the ground, or you hack them down, chop and drop. But I actually take these weeds and put them into a bin and let them decompose. And so these weeds now become food for the orchard. And so that's just a way of taking a negative into a positive and making it into a sustainable environment. I am really excited about growing mangoes. I'm passionate about it. We didn't get a lot this last year, but we did get a few, and the few that we got, we really enjoyed. And stay tuned for the journey on this one. I am committed to building out one of the best collection of mangoes here in Southern California. I've got about 8 varieties and really excited in the years to come to really develop the mango grove. And as we transition into the bananas, a lot of people grow bananas in Florida, but I think it's an underrated plant when it comes to California. I don't see as many banana trees as I think there should be. They're super easy to grow. They love this climate. You just gotta get them through winter. And look at these racks, super heavy harvest that we pulled out this year. Okay, this is the last segment. Congratulations if you made it this far in the video. We'll have Sahara come back at the end. But this is going to chronicle my joy and pain of the Nectarine tree in 2023. I'm going to let it play the emotions, the highs and lows. So check it out. So take a look at this. Man, fruit everywhere. Maybe 1,000 or two. I mean, just look at the density, how much fruit is everywhere. And believe it or not, I have thinned it quite a bit. Now, some of the fruit I couldn't reach because they're so high, but I have thinned this tree, and still, it's too much for this tree to bear. Branches hanging over, touching the ground. So it's going to be part of my chore today, is getting out and trying to prop it up. This is a big mistake. The fruit tree has just snapped the branches. Thought I was doing great. Wow. Poor tree. I've let it down. Didn't help it out. And basically I've lost the harvest. For the most part. I don't think the fruit's gonna be very sweet. I just tried one that appeared to be ripe. Didn't really taste well. Didn't taste good, tasted sour. Too much of the resources were divided up. Wow, that's so disheartening. Well, that's a bummer, but that's what happens. Gotta know when to fold them. Know when to leave the crap table, so to speak, and take your winnings. And not try to get too much. Got greedy and are going to be paying a really hefty price. I'm pretty down. I mean, you put a lot of work into it, and again, you know, it's my fault. I knew it, made videos on it, talked about it, and here's the results. And the impact when you don't do what you know you're supposed to do, which is thin the fruit trees. I can't even count how many pieces of fruit. It's not even the fruit, it is the damage to the tree now that is worse than anything. That is severe damage that I may have to cut off all the way to here. I don't even know how I would do that. May have to start completely over with a brand new tree. It's that bad. It's such a great tree. Just a quick look at how many nectarines came down with the branches that came down off of the nectarine tree. You guys know how I feel about it. Still emotional, still hurts. But we still got a lot more, so we'll be thankful for that. But wanted to give you a quick look at how many nectarines. I mean, this is just a small portion. I mean, because they fell in a lot of different places. Some I've cleaned up already. But again, to give you a sense of what we lost, or actually what should have been thinned. All right, it's a day later. I was pretty emotional about the loss of the branch. I didn't shed any physical tears, but certainly emotional tears were shed. Just to see the really significant damage, borderline catastrophic, on this nectarine tree. There's still a lot of nectarines still on it. But what I've done is, you know, after you shed your tears, you got to figure out what the solution is. You got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and you got to decide what's the best course of action. So one is just lopping off a lot of branches. That was obvious. The less obvious and the next step was whether or not I wanted to cut off this entire branch. There's two of them, one here that is highly damaged, and the other one here that was, I would say, this 80% ripped off. This is about 20-25%. Probably the best approach for this branch would have been to shave it off and make it nice and smooth, and then wrap it and let it heal. Try not to get any dirt or insects, allow any dirty insects to get in. But I'm gonna take a intermediate step and see if I can save it. Same thing with the other branch. And so I went to Home Depot last night, and I got these long poles to put in the tree wells. Not sure if you can see that, but they go all the way down and then all the way up. And then I'm using bungee cords to physically lift the branch back in place, because putting the wrapping on directly is not going to push the branch flush. So I needed a mechanism to pull it up, and then I also provided another support for the branch over there that's in peril. And then after that, wrapping it with this breathable wrapping tape. It's breathable. The main point is to keep the insects and the dirt and the pollution and moisture out. Just like grafting, give it a chance to fuse together and regrow. I left a couple of fruit on this highly damaged branches to kind of monitor if the nutrients are still getting through. I don't know if this is going to work for this branch, but I wanted to give this baby a chance and give it a little bit of surgery and repair. And that's what I came up with. And as the tree grows, this will expand with it, so it will not constrict the growth. It's a great tool to have in your toolkit. And that's what I came up with. So trying to make the most out of a situation. Overall, I want to save the tree. I want the tree to be healthy. It's such a good producing tree. Look, there's still hundreds of nectarines on it. So as long as this tree can make it through, we'll trim back the branches. We'll learn from this mistake. We won't let this happen again. And we will grow from it, as we do with all things. The key is not to be afraid to make mistakes, but certainly to learn from it. Let's not make the same mistakes twice. So that's my lesson to you guys out there. Preaching to myself. That's the lesson I learned. All right, we'll keep a close eye on it and see how we do. So you see the range of emotion that I went through. It was tough, but we made it through. And check this out. I think the tree is going to make it. It looks like it has kind of fused together, and it looks like it's healing up. And I think this tree is going to be just fine going into 2024. So I'm optimistic. It's my first chance to really look at it now that all the leaves have fallen off of it. And it just goes to show you that if you really, are determined, you can figure out a path forward. And that's what we did here with the nectarine. Thanks for sticking around, everyone. I'm going to leave you a little bit, some more footage of Sahara. Again, she's helping out in the orchard, doing what she can, leaning in where she can. Love this dog. She's a great dog, this Rhodesian Ridgeback Sahara. And please like and subscribe. Follow the journey. We got much more stuff to come, and it's going to be a fantastic 2024. So hope to have you around for that. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.